Cubs 5, Alexander Canario personality and winnings. Okay, I promise you we will talk about the first game of Saturday's doubleheader, but not until you get a recap of something much better, the 5-3 Cubs comeback win over the Marlins in the nightcap. Don't miss any update, subscribe my channel for entertainment news. Unfortunately, after that was followed by a walk drawn by Christopher Morel, the Cubs then made Roddery Munoz, a guy with a double-digit era in AAA, look like an all-star. Munoz retired 14 straight Cubs after the Morel walk, and thanks in part to an error by Nico Hoerner in the fourth inning, the Marlins took a 2-1 lead into the sixth. That's when Shota Imanaga served up a home run to Josh Bell to give Miami a 3-1 lead. Overall, though, I thought Imanaga threw well. Again, he struck out 5 and didn't walk anyone. We've known for a while that home runs might be an issue for him, and fortunately, that one came with no one on base. Anyway, the bottom of the sixth began with the Cubs trailing by 2 and visions of being swept by this bad team began to bubble up. Fortunately, Cubs hitters burst that bubble very quickly. With one out in the sixth, Alexander Canario sent this ball deep into the night. Back within 1 run, the Cubs then demonstrated some of the good long sequence offense we've seen quite a bit already in this young season. Hoerner singled to right, and after Bellinger flied out, Morel also singled. Both men moved up on a wild pitch, and Michael Busch then gave the Cubs the lead. That was another weird defensive play on the Marlins' part. They had a shot at getting Morel at the plate, but the throw was cut off. Busch wound up taking second anyway, where he scored on this single by Garrett Cooper. Ben Brown relieved Imanaga and put together 2 solid relief innings. He did allow a couple of singles, but struck out 3, and in 4 appearances since that disastrous first outing in Texas, Brown has a 1.08 ERA, 0.780 WHIP and 14 strikeouts in 10 2/3 innings. Personally, Brown had thrown only 27 pitches. I think I'd have let him finish things up. Instead Craig Counsell called on Hector Neris for the save opportunity, and let me tell you, friends, that move did not fill me with confidence, given Neris' previous Cubs outings. But Neris was up to the task. He allowed a 1-out single but wrapped things up with this strikeout. That win felt like some other Cubs wins this year, good starting and relief pitching and a nice crooked number inning. More just like this, please, well, except maybe without the early inning drama. About the first game, the frustrating 3-2 loss, all that really can be said is this: Adbert Alzolay clearly has talent, and yes, he is suited for the closer role. What has to be done is to figure out why all the long balls, 4 of them this year in just 10 innings, after just 5 in 64 innings last year. Each of the 4 home runs has led to a blown save. Convert just 2 of those 4 blown saves and the Cubs would be in first place this morning. Let's hope those don't come back to haunt the ballclub later on. Give this Cubs team credit for one thing, at least, they didn't quit after that devastating home run in the top of the ninth. Mike Tauchman and Nick Madrigal singled leading off the bottom of the ninth and advanced on a sac bunt by Miguel Amaya, the first successful sac bunt by the Cubs this year. So now the tying and winning runs are in scoring position with 1 out. Unfortunately, Canario struck out and Hoerner grounded out to end the game. But the Cubs at least had the opportunity to win. The only Cubs runs of Game 1 scored on this 2-run triple by Patrick Wisdom. Also notable about the first game, the Cubs got yet another solid outing from Javier Assad, though he threw a few too many pitches and was unable to finish the 5th inning. That, possibly, might have caused a bit of a cascade in bullpen usage, to the point where Craig Counsell called on Alzolay in the 8th inning. Perhaps this isn't wise. Alzolay might be the kind of guy who can only throw 1 inning, no more. Here are Craig Counsell's comments after the doubleheader. Fun game time fact. The total of the game times for this doubleheader was exactly 5 hours, 2:38 in Game 1, 2:22 in Game 2. This was the first Cubs doubleheader since the pitch timer was instituted, as they did not play any Twin Bills last year. The last Cubs doubleheader before Saturday was August 23, 2022 against the Cardinals. The total of the game times that day was 6 hours, 24 minutes, 3:09 in Game 1, 3:15 in Game 2. Baseball with the pitch timer is just better baseball. Many, myself included, felt the Cubs needed to take 3 of 4 from the Marlins this weekend. That's still possible, of course, but it will require a really good outing from Kyle Hendricks. Don't want to belabor this too much, but Kyle needs to do this for quite a number of reasons. Here's hoping the professor's season gets back on track beginning this afternoon. He'll face Miami right-hander Edward Cabrera, who's been tough on the Cubs in his career. Game time is 1:20 p.m. Court and TV coverage will be via Marquee Sports Network.